Have you ever heard of music therapy? If so, what are your views on it? And if not, what do you think it is?
But I don't know what it is. I would think it's the same thing I was just talking about, where like certain music is used to like stimulate different emotions, which can be therapeutic. Like if you need to think about something, play a certain song.
I've certainly seen, because I was interested in music therapy for quite a while and was involved with some different groups doing things to do with people with mental illness and music, and how powerful that experience was for me to see people who had pretty serious mental illnesses who had such an important relationship with music. They would perform, and people who had some behavioral issues in certain contexts because of their illness, they would behave in a way that they just fit in, because when they were playing, they were just a musician and they were part of the group. And I was really interested in what was going on in their brain. Why were they not having any trouble when they would have it? And I'm not saying music is the cure-all. It's not going to fix everything in your life. But obviously something pretty powerful is happening when we're engaged in music.
I have heard of music therapy. I think it works very similar to art therapy, actually. And I think it probably, for those people for whom it is effective, it's probably a wonderful tool. And my guess is on an informal level, many people use music as a kind of therapy. I think right from teenagers who are caught in sort of angsty periods of their life, who feel like they've heard songs that reflect or understand how they feel about whatever it is that they're feeling, right up to people who find comfort in classical music, or almost I think people who use music almost in a meditative way. I think that music therapy on a formal sort of therapeutic level, or a medical, psychological level, probably is very effective. But I think that it probably is, there's some form of informal musical therapy happens for just about anybody who's a music fan.
No, I haven't. Well, I maybe heard the word before. I'm not sure what it is. It sounds like music is a therapy.
But I know for like adolescent mood disorders, like bipolar, those kind of mental health disorders, that music therapy has actually been proven. There's been some studies that it actually really helped. So over the summer, I volunteered in the eating disorder unit, inpatient unit at BC Children's. So that while they're there, they get to see the doctor regularly. They have a nutritionalist, and then they do therapy regularly, one-on-one and in group. And then they do a bunch of activities. And so one of the activities was actually a guitar class. And they had a musician come in, do music therapy with the girls. And a lot of times when people get that sick, they don't actually want to be there, right? Some of them don't actually want to be there. And so for some of these activities, it was really, a lot of girls were really resistant and didn't want to do the therapy, or didn't want to go and do the art therapy, or didn't want to go do the activities outside. But my husband works in that my partner works in that program, and he said that the guitar therapy class was the most well attended, the girls were the patients there were most enthusiastic, right? So I think it speaks to something, that music taps into our emotions, right? And it was a really successful program, so for that summer.
Music therapy as a specific profession and discipline, so I think there's a huge, is hugely powerful. I've been to conferences on the area, and there's a huge amount that can be done. But it's never been very well supported in the public, in the social realm. Like, we don't spend much money. The biggest area where I've ever seen it being spent is with geriatric care, but it's very little used in other areas. So, which is a problem. And so probably like everything you're seeing at universities these days, a lot of it is about business and money. It's show me the money. So when they say, well, there aren't jobs, what are the jobs for the students? Why do we bother training them? I mean, it's really disappointing because it's becoming a trade school. University, I never thought was supposed to be about trade schools. It was supposed to be about, not that there's anything wrong with trade schools, but you know what I'm saying. It's not, it's unfortunate then that we don't have more support for seeing the power of it as a really good and organic and natural and healthy kind of intervention, as opposed to where we have lots of money to develop new drugs and give you, and yet I certainly know with the group that I worked with, I know a lot of people who had mental illnesses, the drugs were really important and can be very helpful, but they didn't solve everything. And they had a lot of nasty side effects, and that would be their last choice. A lot of people would way rather do, not many people have been really seriously damaged by music.
You say love is what you put into it. You say.
The students were obviously shocked, saddened, angered, all sorts of things, and really asked very good questions about why is this happening.
Even one person's story and one person's life is really important to us. We see the value of just even one person's life being changed.
You say that it's hard standing still. Don't you know that I spend all my nights?
Know that this is just a program, but it's the people that are going to be affected by it. And it's our clients that don't have a voice in all of this. And that's what is partially upsetting to us, is that, a lot of these people, we have to advocate for them and say, you can't see it, but they feel it. We know that they would feel this loss. They may not be able to articulate it as you and I would, but that doesn't mean that what they feel isn't valid.
Not today. So try next.
I know that's so important that there's actually a branch of music therapy research. People refer patients to music therapists. It's the only program that whenever they threaten to cut it, that there's a major public outcry. People go down, they demand it, parents, and in a lot of ways people think that that's what they want people to do, to say, please don't cut our music programs.